At dawn on December 1st, 1948, the sea rolled quietly onto the sands of Somerton Beach, just outside Adelaide. The early summer air was cool, and the horizon glowed faintly with the first light of morning. A man lay propped against the seawall, legs crossed neatly, head tilted slightly to one side, as if asleep. A cigarette rested on his collar, half-smoked. But he was not asleep. He was dead. There were no signs of violence, no disturbance in the sand, no struggle. He wore a well-tailored suit, polished shoes, a tie carefully knotted. Everything about him suggested order and intention, yet when authorities searched his pockets, they found something deeply unsettling. Every identifying label in his clothing had been carefully removed. There was no wallet, no papers, no name. It was as if someone had erased him from existence. The autopsy revealed no obvious cause of death. There were no visible injuries. Toxicology at the time detected no common poisons, yet his internal organs showed signs consistent with possible poisoning: congestion in the stomach and liver, abnormalities that suggested something lethal had entered his body. But if so, what and how? Then came the discovery that would transform a mysterious death into one of the most enduring enigmas in Australian history. Hidden in a tiny fob pocket sewn into the trousers was a small rolled scrap of paper. Printed on it were two words: Tamam Shud. The phrase, Persian for ended or finished, appears at the conclusion of the famous poetry collection Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. The symbolism was chilling: a final word, a deliberate farewell. Police scoured local bookshops and libraries, trying to find a copy with the final page missing. Months later, a breakthrough came. A man approached authorities, explaining that shortly after the unidentified body was discovered, he had found a copy of Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam on the back seat of his unlocked car. The last page had been torn out. When investigators examined the book closely, they found something even stranger: faint indentations on the back page, letters written in a code. A sequence of seemingly random capital letters arranged in uneven lines. To this day, the code has never been conclusively deciphered. Was it a cipher? A personal shorthand? Coordinates? Beneath the code was a phone number. The number led police to a young nurse who lived not far from the beach. For privacy, she was later referred to publicly as Justin. When officers visited her, she claimed she did not know the dead man. However, when shown a laster cast of his face, witnesses reported she appeared visibly shaken, nearly fainting at the sight. She admitted she had once owned a copy of Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam and had given it to a man years earlier during the war, but she insisted the Somerton Man was not that individual. The timing of the case fueled speculation. It was 1948, the dawn of the Cold War. Just months earlier, the world had witnessed rising tensions between the Western powers and the Soviet Union. Australia, strategically positioned in the Pacific, was becoming increasingly important in global intelligence networks. Not far from Adelaide lay the Woomera rocket testing range, a sensitive defense installation. Was the Somerton Man a spy? His polished appearance, lack of identification, possible poisoning, coded message, and cryptic literary reference seemed almost theatrical, like the plot of a spy thriller. Some theorized he was a Soviet agent eliminated by rival intelligence services. Others believed he may have carried secrets about weapons testing or classified communications. Yet no foreign government ever claimed him. No intelligence agency admitted involvement. Fingerprint databases across Australia, Britain, and the United States yielded nothing. Dental records failed to match. Advertisements featuring his photograph ran in newspapers nationwide, but no family member came forward. The mystery deepened further when investigators noticed something unusual about his body. His calf muscles were unusually developed, suggesting he may have been a dancer, a runner, or someone accustomed to wearing high-heeled shoes for extended periods. His hands, however, showed no signs of heavy labor. His physique hinted at discipline and training. In 1959, a coroner concluded that the cause of death was likely poison, though no specific substance could be identified. The verdict: death by unknown means. Decades passed. The Somerton Man became a legend, Australia's most baffling cold case. Conspiracy theories flourished. Some claimed he was involved in an illicit romance with Justin. Others believed he carried state secrets hidden within the indecipherable code. A few speculated that the code was not espionage after all, but a personal message, a final communication meant for only one person. In the 21st century, renewed forensic efforts brought new hope. Advances in DNA analysis allowed scientists to extract genetic material from preserved hair samples. Genealogical tracing suggested possible family connections overseas, raising the possibility that the mystery might finally be solved. In 2022, researchers announced a potential identification of the Somerton Man as Carl or Charles Webb, an electrical engineer from Melbourne. Yet questions lingered. If this was his identity, why were his labels removed? Why the coded message? Why the literary clue? Even with a name, the deeper mystery remains unsolved. Who tore the page from the Rubaiyat? Who wrote the code? What did Tamam Shud truly signify? A poetic flourish? A spy's farewell? Or a lover's final word? As the waves continue to wash over Somerton Beach, the sands have long since erased the physical trace of the man found there in 1948. But his story endures, an enigma carved into Australian cultural memory. A man with no name, a message with no key, and ending without an answer. Tamam Shud.